Hello fans and welcome to today's episode of the Casper College Coaches Show. Today I'm joined here with Coach Ben MacArthur and Coach Connor Schmidt, the head coaches of the men's soccer team, and we're looking forward to a great episode. We just had our first game of the season, but before we get too much in depth, let's talk a little bit about the new season, right? Tell me a little bit more, give us an in-depth look of what it looks like to prepare for a new season.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Appreciate the opportunity to be here. I think it's important for us, we start preparing for this season when the previous season ends, right? And even sometimes even before previous season ends. So we've been preparing for the season, for 8 or 9, 10 months now, and trying to put together the right group of guys that are going to give us an opportunity to win a bunch of games. And so that, first and foremost, we try to figure out who's coming back and who we want back, and try to make sure we get those guys on the same page, and then look to recruit the new players to fill in those positions that we need to fill throughout the year. And then in the off season, we get after it, and the guys get in the weight room and we play some futsal and try to put in the work in the off season. And we had a great spring. We had 16 sophomores back this spring, or freshmen back this spring. They're now sophomores, and they had a great spring for us and did some really good things for us. And that's allowed us then to transition into like the summer prep. And I'll let Coach Connor talk about that.
Yeah, so all our athletes do a summer fitness plan, and we try to take fitness tests from 4-year D1 schools and apply that to our school, so when they do make that next step, that they're prepared for the fitness level for that next 4-year school. Luckily, last year and again this year, we came in really fit, so we're really happy with our fitness levels, and that allows us to play the type of soccer we like to play.
Excellent. And do you have any, team bonding or any sort of ways to kind of bring these guys in? Yeah, we have a lot of returners, but you have some new guys. Do you have any way to make them a little bit more of a team?
Yeah, I think there has to be an emphasis at times on team bonding, and we take preseason to do that. So preseason is 90 miles an hour for us, and for 2.5 weeks or so until the first game. And so we go. So fitness session in the morning, and then we have team breakfast, and then we have a team training session, and then some kind of a team bonding most days, or community service. Oftentimes we do community service, that based around a team bonding as well. But this year we flow to the river, and that seems to be an annual thing for our guys. We pump up tubes and put them in the river. We got guys from all over the world, and most of them are like, no, coach, like in Germany, we don't float the river, and so it's kind of fun experience for them to do that as a group, so that's kind of the highlight of what we do. But we're always, pushing on them, pulling on them, talking to them about, the family atmosphere and the culture. Culture wins, and we know that, and so we definitely a large emphasis in preseason of building chemistry off the field and obviously on the field too.
Awesome. And you bring up a good point about culture. You have Japan, Canada, Germany. You have very different cultures outside of the United States. How do you blend that into a Thunderbird culture?
Well, I think one key word we hit on in preseason is diversity, and what other players from different cultures can teach us as Americans and then other kids from other countries. So we just like to have kids come in, be themselves, show us what they're like in their home cultures, and then obviously they need to learn how to be a student in America as well and learn part of our culture. But we learn a ton of stuff from the kids that we bring in, and then we typically room an international kid with a domestic kid, so that way their English can get better if they need to work on their English, and then if a domestic kid has a car, if we can help sort out rides to stores and whatever the daily life things are around that.
Absolutely. Sounds like a challenging but yet a great experience.
One of the things that we try to do is we get these guys from all over the world, and we talk to them about their background, right? Like, everybody has a history of how did you end up at Casper College, right? That kind of a concept. And so we talk to these guys about, like, we're all come from different backgrounds, but right now, so we come like this, right now for a year or sometimes 2 years, we're together, and we're a group of individuals with a common goal, right? And that's to go win as many games as possible and try to win a national championship and a region championship and all that kind of thing. And so we talk about that, like, look, your previous experience and your previous background has put you in position to be here now with these other guys, right, that have the same goal, right? And so that we kind of use that concept, to pull us together as a group.
Excellent. And so now that you're working on getting each other pulled together, becoming a unit, a team, what are your hopes and expectations for this season?
I think ultimately, we talk about it when we recruit these guys to come. We want to win championships, and so we want to compete in every game we play in, right? And so I think that's the first and foremost, is that we kind of slow things down every training session, every team bonding, every opportunity. Let's just continue to get a little better, right? And a little bit more growth, right? And show continual growth throughout the season, and then ultimately make sure we try to peak at the right time and then win games. And the guys they've bought into what we want them to do, on the field, off the field, in terms of that kind of thing. So, ultimately, we want to take it day by day, but with the ultimate goal, obviously, is to win championships, right? So.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's get into this. So you had your first game of the season, August 17th on Thursday. Nice 6-1 win. That felt pretty good. Before we get into the actual gameplay, I was curious that it seems to be there's a song maybe that you've played before every game. Is that a tradition now?
So Paul Marble, the athletic director, when the Top Gun movie came out, right? And so he and my guys, they just get hyped. So it's that the Top Gun, what is it, the theme song maybe or something from Top Gun? Mm-hmm. And so when they're doing the walkouts and they break down, they're just that 25 seconds before kickoff, Paul plays this Top Gun theme song, and my guys just, whatever reason, they just get hyped, right? It's like it becomes like their deal, So it's kind of fun. And Paul has a great relationship with our players, right? He knows my players, he knows them by name, and they feel that support, And so when Paul gets excited, they get excited, right? So.
All right. Now for the meat of the matter, tell us the good, the bad, and what could be improved upon from this last
I love
last
it.
game.
The good, the bad, and the improvement needed. You want to talk about the good?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, the first game of the season, kind of a question mark. How are we going to gel together? How are we going to compete together? Being ranked 13th in the nation in the NJCAA polls, we feel like it puts a target on our back. We're going to get everyone's best effort. Everyone's going to play super hard against us, and we saw that yesterday against Truckee Meadows. They played super competitive. They really didn't give us any time on the ball, and I think our guys needed that to understand the pressure that other teams are going to put on us with that number 13 rank. But I thought we moved the ball around a lot yesterday. Our guys love just pinging the ball around super hard. They love pinging the ball around and just having a super good touch. Like in practice, if they ping the ball around, someone has a bad touch, everyone gets on them, and it's kind of a big joke type of thing. So we love the ball movement with our guys and just the fluidity of the attacking presence with our front five attackers, Cole, Hayden, Issa, and then into our midfield depth. They can all play multiple positions and kind of go in and out and just play off each other. So we're liking what we're seeing on the attacking front, and 6 goals yesterday, you can't complain.
It's true. And I even just sitting on the sidelines, really love their communication. I think it was Issa and Show just saying, hey, I've got him, you've got him. And then the goalie, Uamo, just really making sure to say, hey, you need to be here, and really directing and leading his team.
Those are all good things. Those are all good things we did last year. Obviously, we love scoring goals, right? And a couple set-piece goals too, right? And so set-piece goals, are kind of those bonus goals that can win big games for you when needed, right? And so that was fun. The bad, there wasn't a ton of bad. We gave up a goal, and obviously we hate giving up goals. We gave up a goal, and so that's kind of frustrating, the way that happened. I thought at times we throw around the word casual. And so at times our midfield pressure was maybe a little too casual early in the game, and that gave Truckee Meadows a little bit of confidence to try to get the ball moving on their end. And so we talk about that. So we talked about it at halftime. Hey, listen, we need to increase the level of pressure in the midfield, right? Not allow the ball to move so freely, when we don't have it. So that is something that can be improved on. Ugly, in terms of like the good, the bad, and ugly, or like completely, there was nothing ugly, right, in terms of like, this is an absolute disaster and we got to fix this. One of the things that we continue to talk about is just our depth, and relying on these guys to be loyal to the team, right, and be loyal and be fearless, in everything that we do. And so we want them to just buy into the team and continue to show that daily improvement, give us an opportunity to compete.
Okay, so what's going to be the focus on after this game going into next week? What's the focus?
Yeah, I think now it's got to be we're gonna continue to talk about some transition moments, right? And in the game of soccer, the defense to offense and the offense to defense transition happens hundreds of times in a game, and so those are key moments. And so I thought yesterday we had some very, very good moments where we were on the attack, we lost the ball, we were able to win it back relatively quickly, and then generate a scoring opportunity real quickly after that transition, right? So offense to defense, and then get it right back on offense, and then go be dangerous right away. And so we're going to talk about those opportunities, continue to talk about those opportunities, and how we can improve as a team, from that aspect.
And for each of you, what was your favorite moment from the game on Thursday?
I mean, mine has to be my guy Yuto Hatayama. He had a PK goal with his right foot, and then a run of play goal with his left foot from outside the box.
Okay.
And he just continues to grow and show us kind of his potential as a footballer. So we're super excited about Yuto and his upcoming season.
Great.
I enjoyed the goals that we scored that come from our press. Right, Hawkins Sweeney presses them into a mistake. We have a little combo play. We whip in a dangerous ball. We earn a P penalty kick. So we scored a penalty kick on that play from that press, from Hawkins. And then Linus, a freshman from Germany, he scores a great goal, a great solo goal, but it was a press. He pressed their defender, and the guy causes an error, and he scoops up the ball and dribbles forward and just scores. Right, and sometimes those are the best goals in the world because it's just a simple, where he created himself purely from his work ethic, right? So obviously Hayden had a great game, Cole scores goal, all those things are great, and our back line was awesome, but I love those moments of where our press is devastating at times. So
that's great to hear. So we have 3 games coming up. We have Gillette on Monday, and then you go on the road and you're going to be playing Nebraska and Iowa Lakes. Tell us a little bit about not even preparation, some of the preparation, what other thing you're looking at, how the game might match out to be. Just give us your thoughts on what's ahead.
Yeah, Gillette's a new program, and so they were here a couple years ago, and obviously we all know their athletics disappeared, and now they're back, and we're excited to have Gillette back. They're close to us. They're good to have them back in our region. So we play them on Monday, and so they're kind of a sleeper. Right, and so they haven't been around. They're gonna have a brand new team. They've got the coach there is great, and he's a good guy. So he'll have them motivated. So we're gonna have to be clean against Gillette, and they're gonna give us a good test on Monday. And I think then we talked about those transitional moments, are gonna be huge for us. And then we have a couple days where we regroup and then head to Nebraska. We played Central Community College out of Columbus, Nebraska on Friday, and then we go play Iowa Lakes on Saturday, and those are again 2 tough teams. We try to just take it one game at a time, and so we're not my guys won't hear me talk about Iowa Lakes until we get to the night before Iowa Lakes. And same thing as the Central. So right now all the focus is on Gillette, trying to make sure that we are prepared and understand how we want to play and how they might have to adjust to that, so.
And then I think the way the Region 9 schedule is set up, we have our regular season games the first half of the season, and then our last half is pretty much all region games, and those are Friday, Saturdays. So this weekend, being on the road to Nebraska and Iowa, that's a good test for us to be on the road, play Friday, Saturday back to back, and just to get us prepared for region play when we will have to go down to Trinidad and Ontario this year. So that would be a similar experience of traveling away, playing away in tough conditions, and getting a result.
Absolutely. So to keep that same frame of mind of, we're going to look at just the next game. We'll keep Central Community College from Nebraska and Iowa kind of out there for a little bit. But this unknown of Gillette, yes, they had a program and then they went away for a little bit, now they're back. How's this going to impact in preparation or any sort of scouting that you're able to do? How are you able to help prepare your boys?
We just try to get them to focus on us at times, right? This is our style, and we're going to play this way, and we're going to make the other team have to figure it out, right? And so then we talk about, if we're doing this, they are going to try potentially to do this, this, or this. And then we talk about hey, if we're trying to play this way, they could counter us by trying to achieve this, right? And so we have to be prepared for that. And so I think we talk about all those different kind of scenarios, throughout the year, just in every game we play. Hey, listen, this is who we are, and this is how we want to play, but they could do then turn around with that. They could be forced to try this or try this or try this, right? And we saw that yesterday with Truckee a little bit. You know, when we pressed them and they couldn't get out on us very effectively, they turned it into just playing long balls, right? And so their back line, every time they got a little bit of space, they're just playing a long ball. And so our back line has to be prepared for that, like understanding, you know, not the consequences, but kind of the shift of what teams are going to do when they get frustrated with the way that we play them, you know. So that's kind of big for us, is just get everybody on the same page and continue to build that organization and chemistry on the field.
All right. So Gillette Monday, I believe the game starts at 5, is that correct?
5 o'clock, yeah. I'd love to have everybody out there and come support. It's at Moraine Field on Casper College. Field's in great shape, you know, beautiful field. You know, it's the best. A local guy came to help us paint the field last week, and he said, "Ben, this is the best venue in Casper." And is what he said. He's like, you can't beat this venue, right? Because you got views of the college, views of the mountains, views of the town, right? The venue, the setting, right there on Moraine Field is special.
Excellent. So Monday, 3 o'clock for the women, 5 o'clock for the men. We hope to see you there.